For almost 70 years, fighters from the Karen National Liberation Army have been taking up arms against the government. They want self-determination for the people of Karen State, most of which is controlled by the rebel group. The government says it wants peace in the ethnic minority areas, but in the remote villages of Karen State, rebel fighters aren't so sure.
We worry about fighting happening again at any moment, so we have to keep our soldiers prepared. How can we trust Myanmar's government and military? Everyone in the world knows about them, and even their own citizens can't trust them.
One of the main problems is that the government, led by State Councillor Aung San Suu Kyi, doesn't have control over its own military. The army ran the country for almost 50 years and is still the most powerful body in Myanmar. The relationship between the civilian government and the military is not good. A source connected to the army has told Al Jazeera that has to be resolved before peace talks with rebels can make progress. So far, the Myanmar government has held 2 peace conferences with rebel groups. There's also a so-called nationwide ceasefire agreement in place. So-called because there are still many groups that haven't signed that deal. Among those that have, these guys, the Karen National Liberation Army. And yet, fighting continues. As this footage shot by a Karen fighter last month shows, the ceasefire agreement isn't holding. As always, it's civilians who suffer the most, with almost 100,000 refugees living in camps across the border in Thailand.
We want to go home, but we don't dare because the ceasefire agreement hasn't brought peace. We cannot trust the ceasefire agreement.
In the meantime, soldiers in rebel areas are holding their ground, like they have for decades. The most experienced fighters never believed the armed struggle would still be going.
We have fought against them for so many years, so we know that Myanmar will not give us equality easily. Not only the Karen, but other ethnicities too. So we have to fight for our rights, but if we cannot make peace in our time, it will be up to the next generation.
For rebel armies, disbanding permanently seems a long way off, as many in this divided country continue to head in different directions. Wayne Hay, Al Jazeera, Karen State, Myanmar.